Hi there, this is Dr. Kemi for Kemi Talks Media. It's the 27th of May 2025. Let's talk about Priscilla and Jock's final wedding tomorrow in Tanzania. I think it's tomorrow, 28th, in Tanzania. This is not a country you want to actually go around now. But make sure you have all these travel and safety tips because many of you just want validation, acceptance, be with the Yabo Just crew, want to be noticed. Don't get into trouble. This is not a time I will go to Tanzania, even if I were invited to anything over there. You need to be aware. First of all, the whole world is descending on Tanzania. President Samia, has been very brutal on how she's going to be dealing with activists and oppositions for the next election. Tanzania has a female president, and she's a very tough lady, Some bad things just happened over there. So if you're going to Priscilla and Chuck's wedding, you need to have the safety tips and awareness of where you are going to, First of all, they have shut down Twitter in Tanzania. A few days ago, Samia shut down Twitter, X. She said she shut down Twitter because hackers went and attacked all the government websites. That people don't like her and that people are against her because of what's been going on. So young tech people have entered the government websites and they hacked all of them. So she shut down Twitter. You can see this little insert here from the Africa Report. Foreign troublemakers not welcome. President Samia Suluhu sent the warning, on the 19th of May to anyone that wants to tell her how to do her job because she deported 2 activists. Now, these are East African activists. One is Kenyan, one is Ugandan. And what happened to them? They were tortured, and went through some really bad things. Like one of those activists, Agatha, I know her very well. Agatha is a Ugandan lawyer. She's also a journalist. If you know some of these journalists, a lot of them became journalists because they wanted to put out the truth out there, There's a lot of one in Sierra Leone during the war over there. A medical doctor treating all the war people and the dead and all. She became a journalist too. So she can report from the front lines what she's seeing. Agatha is a Ugandan lawyer and she's also a journalist. She was deported. They found her on the border. She was stripped naked, she was raped, and they threw poop on her. Feces were thrown on her by the authorities in Tanzania. So that one is getting a lot of attention. Now there's a lot of revenge mode stuff going on there. Be careful in Tanzania. Go to your wedding, finish your wedding, go back to Nigeria. There's no going to the wedding after party in another location and things. Be careful. Be aware of your surroundings. Juma Jok should have security for all of you there. It's not about validation anymore because some of you just do these things for validation, to be seen and noticed over there. There's a mini war brewing over there. This is the United States Embassy in Tanzania. First of all, if you're a Nigerian American like me, if you have American citizenship, and you're also Nigerian, any country you go, you're supposed to register with the embassy, Maybe you won't have time to register. If you have an emergency, you must contact them, When you're outside Nigeria, you're American, If you are Nigerian, you're not an American citizen, You need to have the number of the Nigerian embassy in Tanzania. Now if I remember, the U.S. Embassy was always next to the Nigerian embassy. In 1997, there was an explosion, an Al-Qaeda bomb that blew up the embassy, and the Nigerian embassy was very, very affected with shrapnel and all that. We never see that again. That's the same day the Nairobi bombing happened at the U.S. Embassy. You need to know these things. 1997, many of you were not born. I covered all this stuff as a journalist. This is what the U.S. Embassy in Tanzania had. The Bureau of African Affairs. I follow them on Twitter. I, see all the stuff they're doing. And this was the warning, Today, the U.S. is deeply concerned by reports of mistreatment in Tanzania of 2 East African activists. The Bureau of African Affairs, is the part of the State Department that guards and monitors African affairs and foster a good relationship with African countries and America. Okay? Now, you can see Agatha's name there, Atuaire and Boniface Mwangi. Boniface is a male, Agatha is a female. She was the one that was raped, stripped, and thrown feces at. Now, Agatha was recognized by the U.S. Department of State in 2024. Last year, they gave her an award. The State Department gave her an International Women of Courage Award. And they're calling for an immediate and full investigation into what happened, because these are human rights abuses, okay? In the middle of that, you are going for a wedding and all this fanfare. Be aware, okay? Political violence is out there. Amnesty International is pissed off. Tanzania, torture and forcible deportation of Kenya must be urgently investigated. I wouldn't even go here, because I know some things I can't even tell you on this recording. Be careful, okay? Your host, Juma Jock, should be providing security for you. Don't go where they didn't ask you to go. Enioluwa, I know you are very loud. Sometimes you guys will say, you are going to watch some animals somewhere, or you're going to one club after the parties. And be careful of your movement in Tanzania, people. And this was yesterday, the Africa Report. Tanzania turns brutal against region activists ahead of elections. Okay. Tundu Lissi, I think he's the opposition leader. Okay, his trial is coming, and that's what those Kenyan and Uganda people went there for. He is the opposition leaders, and Sululu is not having it. President Samia, the female. So she's cracking down on any activist, whether you're a domestic activist or you're foreign. You see what she wrote in the beginning here. Foreigners are not welcome. Foreign troublemakers. That's what she calls them. Not welcome. She sent a warning shot. Okay, the Africa Report has, reported this. And she feels that they're attacking her country's sovereignty. Okay, because this is how South African xenophobia started. It's the people themselves who have been affected, and they should be prepared to defend their country. Okay, so be aware of this if you're going to JP 2025. Now, find a social media platform for communication with your loved ones in Nigeria. Emma Sakwe, wedding number 8. It's lost wedding. Necessary. Emma Sakwe, wedding, no, Yorubas, translate it into the comments. Tanzania is very, very dangerous right now. It is sensitive. It is hot. It's not to say that they're going to go to the wedding and something will happen. Nothing might happen. Okay, Adurani, Timba step out of my house and see. Anything can happen out there. So we have to pray all the time, but awareness is key. Okay, find a second social media platform that can get you in real time as much as possible. What do I mean by that? She has blocked X. So X is real time. Okay, the time on your tweets will say what's happening at what time. But Facebook is not real time. TikTok is not real time. None of them are real time. But find one that we use as an alternative that your loved ones can be seeing your posts to make sure you are okay. Have the number of the Nigerian embassy. You let them know you're here for a wedding and you literally came in an entourage. Entourage means everybody is going to the same wedding and they're coming from Nigeria. Tanzanian police are not friendly. If you remember that girl that went on holiday and they gave her a hard time and arrested her, we've seen a lot coming out of Tanzania. So you guys be very careful in East Africa. I'm Dr. Kemi Olunloyo for Kemi Talks Media.